Happy Friday! So Ever and I, we watched this show called Counterpart. It's on, it's a series on Stars. It's called Counterpart, and I forgot who's the guy of that newspaper man in Spider-Man. But Counterpart is a spy movie where there's two versions of something happening at the same time. And so there's a version of you in this realm, and there's a version of you in a different realm. And there is a area called the Crossing where you can go to the other realm. And this, his name is like J.K. Simmons or J.J. Simmons or R.K. Simmons, something like that. So he plays like this, in this realm, in this planet, he plays like this guy who's really gentle and docile and compassionate. He talks with people and he's a lot of fun and just very gentle, kind-hearted, non-assertive, non-aggressive kind of guy. And then he meets his doppelganger, his twin that is existing at the same time as him from the other realm. It's called the other side. And he sees a version of himself where the guy is more aggressive. He's actually a spy, and he is very assertive and direct, and he actually uses a gun. So he's like a badass in a way, right? Like he's like a vigilante. And then here's this other version in this realm that's really gentle and docile, just your average, 8 to 5 job guy, just doing his work day in, day out. And if you've ever seen this movie called, I think it's called like The Christmas Story or something, where there's Nicolas Cage and then there's Tia Leone, and Nicolas Cage is like two different versions of him, and you get to meet both versions, and then it's fun to see like the two different versions of him. So it's kind of like that, like two parallel realities. And it made me think about something that my coach said to me, which I think is really good advice for you as well, because we all have it. We all have this. My coach said she's been to my house. She and her husband came over one day to celebrate her birthday, and Mom and I cooked spring rolls for her. And she saw such a different me in my house with my parents versus how I am in other realms, like at work or with her and with her husband and so on and so forth. And she goes, I see this image of you where you're a powerhouse. You walk into the house and you're not a decoration. You're not just a part of your house and your family. You actually are a powerhouse. There's a different form of energy with you, and you are fully actualized, and you're completely who you are. And and made me think of this guy, J.K. Simmons or whatever his name is. And you see like these two versions of him, right? The gentle, like tame version, and the aggressive, like direct alpha male version. And his alpha male is like very direct. He doesn't sugarcoat, like he says what he means and he means what he says, and he doesn't mess around, and he'll walk his talk, like he'll put his money where his mouth is. And what if the two versions of you already exist? They're like two vibrational frequencies. They're two channels that you can choose to tap into, and you can tap into the version of you that is really fully actualized and very confident and kind of like a different version of you versus the suppressed, the good girl, the I'm going to do what's right. I'm the untransformed, the unactualized version of you, the one that is not a powerhouse, the one that is scared and not confident and gives her power up to her husband and has weird energy about money and doesn't walk into a room with presence and force. What if those two versions exist simultaneously? And if you got to meet this other version of you and you're like, oh my gosh, like you can be like that. Like you can be this alpha female that is really aggressive and confident. She walks in the room with this swagger and this energy, and I have the capability to be that way. It made me think of the statement my coach said. She said, I imagine you walking into your house with this kind of energy. I'm looking forward to that day. And I thought about it, and I sat with it, and then I saw today's episode, this pilot episode called Counterpart. It's on Stars, but you can buy it, and watch it. We bought it on Amazon Prime or something. So I'd highly recommend it. It's really good, but not for kids because there's blood and shooting and stuff. But like, imagine, so she tells me that. I see this episode and it makes me think of these two versions of the same guy. And they talked about the same genes, the same childhood, and yet one version started branching off and changing into a different cascade of events after a series of choices. So let's say you have the choice right now. You have the choice to be a truly transformed, actualized, fulfilled, powerful, infinitely power being. You have that choice. And you get to be it. You get to do it. You get to live into it. If you had that choice and you had access to it, wouldn't you? Like when this guy, he saw his other version of him, he started speaking more confidently. He started negotiating, like he wanted this job promotion and he didn't get it. And he just kind of like resigned by. He's like, okay, cool. And then now when he knows he has like a leg up and he has leverage, he's just like, I don't know. All I know is you need me. So go figure it out, I guess. You can see he's like starting to make the gradual transition to be like more confident and being like, oh, I have some negotiation here. I have some power. They need me, so I can call the shots. I can negotiate the conditions and the terms of the exchange. And it was so entertaining to watch. And I think I found my new addiction, my new sitcom addiction, not sitcom, my new series addiction. And it made me think about us accessing that version of us that is more actualized, that is fulfilled, that is powerful, that is total badassery, where you would be confident in front of a camera with the wind blowing in your hair like a model with fake lashes on and micro-bladed brows and putting on jewelry and, just a different version of you, a different vibrational version of you, still you, just some tweaks and some confidence and some courage and some inner beauty exuding out into your energy field and the energy you share with others. And I decided I'm going to start wearing lashes every day. So fun. And curl my hair. It'd be fun to curl my hair every day. It takes a little bit more time, but I think it's worth it. So, think about it. Consider it. If you haven't already, check out the show Counterpart. And then, or go see The Christmas Story with Nicolas Cage and Tia Leone and see about the two versions that could exist and which version would you like to live. And are you living that version right now, or are you living a lesser version of you, a meeker version, a less confident version, a version of you that you choose to expand and transform. And if you don't know how to get to that version, if you don't even know where to start, then that is where a life coach comes in. Like, I started seeing my transition of like being a sad, unfulfilled, unhappy person that picks my husband apart and picks myself apart, and a person with lots of mom guilt and all this stuff, and a person that allows my interactions with my mom to be dramatic and eventful and low vibe, to hiring a life coach in my life, getting tons of clarity, accessing a more confident, powerful, transformed, happy, fulfilled version of myself. And that's the power of having a life coach in your life. Like, I help you point out your blind spots. I help you realize your true potential. I help you tap into what it is that gives you life fulfillment. I help you see things that are holding you back, any limiting words and beliefs and thoughts about how you're living your life. And it's utterly powerful, utterly profound, and it's amazing. And I highly recommend it. Everyone could have a life coach if you truly desire to live a fully actualized life. So check out my website, soulelevatedlife.com. Check out my YouTube channel. Check out my older videos from previous days. I go live every day, so you can check out any of my other videos and see if my vibe matches you. See if we're a good match. If you'd like, we can have a free session together, and we can talk, and we can discover one another and see if we're a good match. And we'll go from there. Let's see. Sending you love, light, and infinite possibilities. Here's you living a soul elevated life, and I will see you tomorrow.